that individuals, despite their second thoughts, going against their initial thoughts, their hubris will still allow them to cloud their own judgment.
Yeah, we'll do anything to prevent ourselves being wrong.
Alright, second quote. It's pure joy to escape the worst yourself. It hurts a man to bring down his friends, but all that, I'm afraid, means less to me than my own skin. That's the way I'm made. That was my indication that the Sentry had the smallest aspect of human psychology. All he really needs is to be alive. And despite hurting someone else, all he really cares about is his own skin. I guess no input when he's in on that, unless you guys want to say something. I just thought that was the only indication that he had a very simple psychology. Alright. Let's just say I've been accused of folly by a fool, Antigone. I just thought that was kind of fun. I thought it was extremely wise, I guess, and that was something you would see in only a master play, I think. Look less to my years and more to what you do, what I do. I think that's another aspect of philosophy that Sophocles integrated into his play. Just because someone is older does not necessarily mean they're wiser or more intelligent. I'm sure many of you would agree with this because you think you're smarter than your parents. But no? Oh, you know. Okay. Any input on that philosophy? If you even think it's philosophy.
Which one?
You're smarter than your parents.
Look less to my years and more to what I do.
They may be. I think you're confusing. I think that maybe a lot of people confuse wisdom with intelligence. I think maybe almost all of us are probably more intelligent than our parents.
But not as wise.
More wise? I don't know.
Would you
I
say
can't
that
file my
crayons
own
wise?
taxes. I don't know.
Well, I could
Would you
agree
say
with
that crayons
that.
wise?
I definitely agree with that.
Because, like, I mean, I showed my parents my calculus homework, and they were like, what is that? You know? So, I mean, maybe it's just two different generations, too. I mean, back then, maybe what they did in high school doesn't compare to what we did. I mean, back then, I don't think they worked as hard as we did. I mean...
No, they worked. They usually worked.
They
jobs.
No, I mean, like,
Yeah,
intelligence-wise. Like, it was two different levels. I mean, their minimal education is different compared to ours. I mean, back then, they could just graduate high school and go into the workforce, and today, you can't really do that. I mean, you need to have an education behind you. So.
But I like what Avery said about the wise thing. However, I do not think that Creon was more wise than Haman. I would say that probably most older people are, but just not Creon.
I can agree with that.
And I think, I'm not that this is directly relating to that, but I think that Sophocles was trying to say that power corrupts people, because here you have two people of the same blood, which pretty much everybody in here is of the same blood, but these are like really closely related, and you see such vast differences, and the only difference is really age, and then of course the power seat. So I think for them to be so different, that has the pride and arrogance of Creon comes from his position.
Okay. I also looked at that one as a indication of who do you choose as a role model. And it's going to sound weird, but I almost feel like this is something Jesus would say. When he was younger, he would say, don't look to my age, look to what I do as an individual. And you can learn from me even though I'm so young.
Right, because there's a verse, do not let the people despise you for your youth, but be an example in purity, spirit, faith.
I'm a little bit